Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. We are diving in to the Traveler's Gift, and we have been talking about, the book. Clearly, we're talking about the book. But the book is about 7 decisions to help you have personal success. So, through story form, there are 7 different decisions that you can make. Obviously, the author has chosen them, but that would help you on your personal journey. And I feel if you've been in the Keto Mom page at any point in time, you know that I think it's powerful to get your mindset right to help you on your healthy fitness, fat loss, whatever you want to call it, journey, right? So that's what we're diving into. So, how's your morning? How was your weekend? We had an incredible weekend. I did not come on here and do the live. So I am going to do chapter 8. You could have done chapter 8 on Saturday. You could have done chapter 9 today, and then you'll be done. We're almost done with the book. So I'll show you the book, what we're going to do in August. But where are you tuning in from? If you're done with the book, how did you like it? If you are not, share below your biggest takeaways. I'll do a drawing tomorrow for how it's going. So I do a drawing for Keto Mom, for Mom Fuel. And so what are you loving about the book? What is your biggest takeaway? I thought we would start off the morning with a joke. Just so you guys know I love to be funny. Okay, here's the joke. Well, it's not a joke. It's a knock-knock joke. Well, it's a knock-knock joke. First of all, knock-knock. And I'm going to say that you said who's here. Knock-knock. And I hear you. You said who's there. A door. A door who? A door is between you and me, so please open up. These are so funny, you guys. I'm easily amused, and I just think I love jokes. So, thought that would be funny. All right. So, if you have tuned in at any point in time, remember this. We are doing a book in the morning for probably the rest of your life if you continue to tune in here. Because I'll tell you, the book that we're going to be doing in August is this book, Winning the War in Your Mind. So, this was the one that was voted for the next book. This will be August. This will be July. I'm going to explain something really quick. Let me grab my notes. Hold on. Okay. This book is written by one of our pastors. My husband actually used to work at this church. It's in Oklahoma. They actually have churches all around the United States and online. So if this book is written by a pastor, there is a lot of biblical references to it. It's an incredible book. But I do know that some of you have asked, so I'm just letting you know. Yes, he is going to talk about God in this book. For those of you who are like, I'm out, that's totally your choice. But this one was voted to be the next book. And it really talks about the power of your mind and your mindset and winning the war in your mind. And something that he said in here is, if you want to change your life, you have to change your thinking. And whether it is biblically based or whether it is not, which we're going to go through this book in September, whether you're reading the book we're doing right now, whether you read the books that we did earlier this spring, we went through Rain or Shine, we went through Atomic Habits. We went through the Miracle Morning. Everything has to do, it doesn't matter which book that you're doing to grow yourself. It's got to be a book that's not fictional. I mean, this is fictional, I guess, but I promise you, if you're going to read a book that's going to help you grow as a person, you're going to find that the common thread, the common theme in all of these books is the power of your mind and your mindset. Whether you believe you can do something or you believe that you can't do something, you are correct, right? You believe that you can do it, you can do it. You believe that you can't do it, and guess what? You're not going to be able to do it. And so whether you believe you can have the fat loss that you want, you're going to get there with consistency and patience and action over time. If you believe that you can't do it and you're just here, then guess what? You're not going to do it. So if you're brand new, guess what? You can watch the entire page. Excuse me, my nose is tickly. And you can go get recipes and tips and tricks on the keto lifestyle every single day. And I truly believe that if you can get this right, then guess what? Everything else will fall into place, and you'll have patience to let it take time, because you did not get to where you are today overnight. You're not going to get to where you want to go overnight. So, make sense? This is August. This is going to be September. This book is incredible. The book that he wrote after this book that was not allowed to be published until him and his wife had passed away is unbelievable. So, I'm just going to say that. Napoleon Hill. And it's not what you think, by the way. Think and Grow Rich. I actually didn't read it for a long time because I was like, I hate that title. And then I was like, our CEO said, Stephanie, you have to read the book. And I read the book and I was like, it's an incredible book. It's written old-fashioned, meaning there's a lot of words to it. This will take a little bit longer to get through. So that is September. So anyways, let's dive into today's chapter. I wrote down the 7 decisions we've already talked about. If you're just tuning in for the first time, post new below. And I want you to know something. This book is written in story form. It's different than the books we've read in the past, but it gives you things to think about. I feel like it's a perspective book, right? And so the author is giving you 7 decisions that if you choose to make them, they will help you on your personal journey, and that includes your health journey. So the main character is basically in a car accident. You don't know if he has passed away. You don't know if he's dreaming. You don't know if he's in a coma, but he's meeting people from the past. He's met a key figure in history that gives him something to think about. So the first one was the buck stops here. Stop blaming, shaming, or justifying the past. Number 2 is I will seek wisdom. It's important to know and watch who you are around and surround yourself with, because the people that you are around either grow you or pull you down. Number 3, I am a person of action. I'm not going to sit back and just wait for things to happen. I'm going to learn and put it into action. Number 4, I have a decisive heart. I'm going to decide and do it, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't, oh, I can. Like, no, I'm focused and I'm going after it. I don't care how long it's going to take. I'm going to do it. Number 5, I will choose to be happy, right? Happiness is a choice. A lot of the things you do in your life are a choice, which ultimately is 1% better or 1% worse over time. Everything that you do in your life, whether you're choosing 1% better, 1% worse. And then number 6 was I will greet each day. Oh, that's today. That's what we're talking about. Hold on. So today, our main character goes into the past and he meets Abraham Lincoln. There's a lot of story to this chapter, so I'm just going to skim through it really quick. Abraham Lincoln talks to our main character, David, gives him perspective on the war, gives him perspective of what's going on in the world. There's a fly that's bothering me. And he talks about personal growth. He says, what we call personal growth, I'm not sure what I want more. Okay, I'm sorry. Why I want more personal growth. Abraham Lincoln's talking to him about this. He talks about having power. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, you're a man of power, or you're a woman of influence, or however you want to say that, right? He says, how powerful does somebody want to be or even have to be, right? I think sometimes there's certain words or phrases, even Think and Grow Rich. Some people be like, oh, rich people. Like there's certain words or phrases or triggers that may have caused a certain feeling in your life, right? Maybe the word power. So in this case, he's like, why do I want to be powerful? And Abraham Lincoln gives him a different perspective. He says, what does personal growth have to do with power? He says, I'm not interested in power. And so here's what Abraham Lincoln talks about. He says, personal growth leads to power. There is a certain level of personal growth that will provide the skills necessary to feed your family, to clothe your family. In other words, a level of personal growth that will furnish influence and wisdom and create leadership. He basically just talks about like how personal growth affects your entire life. So how do you get personal growth? He says, the question is this: how do other people see you? If you could ask yourself this question, how do people see me? If they watch me in general, if somebody watches your life, what do they think? What do they see? Are they seeing good habits? Are they seeing you pursuing better in your life? Are they watching you develop yourself? Or you could even ask yourself this question: what do they like about me? Am I growing them? Like, if you asked yourself this question, and if you looked from an outsider's perspective and watched your life, would people be inspired? Would they see you going after better? Would they want to follow you? It doesn't mean that you have to be an extrovert or you have to want that influence. It's just meaning, like, let's say you wanted to follow you, right? If you were going to go follow yourself, would you inspire yourself or would you not? That might be a hard question to answer. And even if you're like, not right now, guess what? That can change, right? Because if you're here, you're probably going after better. You probably have some goals and visions for yourself, mainly your health. But I bet you in other areas of your life, you want better as well. Relationships, finances, marriage, spiritually, whatever that is, right? All right, so he says, to seek the approval of someone who is lazy or jealous is to cast your pearls to the swine. He talks about how, I love how most books talk about also the people that you're around, right? And the things that you're speaking about, the power of your words. But like I said in the beginning, so many books talk about the power of your mind, and it talks about the people that you're around. And it talks about the things that you hold on from the past and how all of that plays a factor in you reaching your goals, good or bad. So Abraham Lincoln and David go on a long journey. They talk about a lot of stuff. Clearly, I'm not going to read it all to you. But ultimately, Abraham Lincoln's message to David was, you need to greet every day with a forgiving spirit. So that was his whole talk to him. He says, what does forgiveness have to do with me being effective? So Abraham Lincoln's like, you need to have a forgiving spirit. And the main character's like, what in the world is that going to help me with? Right? He says, the secret of forgiveness is, Lincoln responded, it is a secret that is hidden in plain sight. It costs nothing and is worth millions. It is available to everybody and used by few. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever known somebody that has such bitterness and such unforgiveness that you feel like it oozes over into their entire life? I know people like that. And when you have an unforgiving spirit, guess what? It affects the way you live your life. You might be like, listen, this is weird. No, it seriously does. It affects the way that you look at people. It affects the way that you run your life day to day, because you might be blaming that person from the past, justifying things. I'm the way I am because of that person. And basically he's just saying, listen, forgive, because it's not doing you any good. Have you guys ever heard this? Have you ever heard of, like, you might be holding a grudge against somebody. You might have an unforgiveness from the past. It might be affecting your future. It might be affecting the way that you decide just your entire life. But have you ever been told it's probably hurting your heart, but that person has no idea and doesn't even care? Isn't that interesting? Like, the things that you hold on today from the past, I bet you those people have no idea that it's affecting your attitude, your mood, the way you live your life, the food and the emotions that control you. And they have no idea. And so today he says, you need to have a forgiving spirit. He says, the unmistakable truth about forgiveness is that it's not a reward that must be earned. Forgiveness is a gift to be given. When I give forgiveness, I free my own spirit to release the anger and hatred harbors in my heart. By granting forgiveness, I free my spirit to pursue my future happily and unencumbered by the anchors of my past. And forgiveness, when granted to others, becomes a gift to myself. It's true, right? And how often other people's actions make us get angry or caught up in life. So, the sixth decision for personal success is, I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit. I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit, and I will forgive even those who do not ask for forgiveness. I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit, and I will forgive those who have criticized me unjustly. I will greet today with a forgiving spirit, and I will forgive myself. That might be something that you have to do today, is forgiving yourself for maybe decisions you've made in the past, for maybe you feel like you've gone backwards. I have heard that over and over again. Like, listen, this last year and a half or 2 years, I keep hearing people like, I can't believe I did that. I was doing so great and I fell off the wagon. Guess what? Forgive yourself, get back on track. Today is a new day and you can move forward because you have the power of choice. You have the power of choice every single day. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to eat that. Not because I have to, because I get to. I get to eat healthy. I get to go to the gym. I get to work out. I get to drink more water. I get to choose to be happy. I choose my attitude. I'm going to choose to forgive those people in the past because clearly it's not affecting their life and it's affecting mine. So, with that, super great book. We've got one more decision. Decision 7 is tomorrow. He wraps up the chapter in chapter 10. So we'll be done with this book this week, in the next few days. And then I'll probably just do some recap. I'm not sure what we'll do until August. Let me think about it. So I hope that's helpful. I would love to know your biggest takeaways below. I will pick a winner for tomorrow to win some mom fuel. I do have the reboot going on right now. So for those of you who are joining me in the 60-hour keto reboot, it's like a 60-hour fast. Just tune into the page if you want to know more about that. Otherwise, follow me on my stories. Grab this book for August. Grab this book for September. It's going to be super great. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an incredible morning. Reach out with any questions that you have. I'm always here to help. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.